I know when Keanu puts on that suit, he smiles. I know when we bring our stunt teams together on that first day of rehearsal, the first day on set, you can feel you feel like you're gonna do something cool. So I miss that. I'd go back in a second.
No one, not even you, can kill everyone.
Hi, Chad. It's such a huge pleasure to be here with you. Congratulations on John Wick and also for the whole John Wick universe with Continental and also this expanding mythology. So, this is the fourth installment. It's the biggest, the best reviewed, and the highest grossing. How does it feel for you when you look back at the first movie and now you see it not only just getting bigger and better, but also reaching a much bigger audience?
I must be hiring better and better crew. I mean, it's Keanu and I talk about it all the time. We never had plans to do anything more than the first film. We kind of did it as, I think when people ask me about the John Wicks, they were meant to be love letters to what we liked, to the action films of the 70s, Bullet, Point Blank, the Samurai, all the, genres from all across the world. So we never really concerned ourselves too much with, let's make this plot-based expositional action movie. It was more about how do we work in our love letter stuff? How do we work in this hard-boiled-esque tone of cinema exploration, we'll call it, in the action genre, with no money and no time. So to come 9 years later and still be making them and still experimenting with all the things we love about filmmaking and action has been quite the ride. And we've compiled, I think, it's my favorite crew I've ever worked with. I mean, we have such great people on the team that get the whole vibe of what we're trying to do tonally and experimentally, and keep kind of, I wouldn't say raising the bar, but keep pushing ourselves. So we focus on each and every department and each and every go and each and every scene.
So this whole franchise started with "You shouldn't have killed that dog," and now it has become this expanding mythology, as I said before. In John Wick Chapter 4, what was that made you think, wow, this is a great story. This is fresh, this is original, and it's going to be epic?
We knew we wanted to do epic. I'll give you that. We never really have a plan when we're done. How the releases always work for us is we do our main release, right, which is 90% of the world. Japan opens for us much later, 5-6 months later. It's how we end each movie. Ken and I end up in Japan doing the last little press tour. And we really haven't given the movie much thought, or the franchise much thought to that. And we'll be sitting in an Imperial Hotel and we'll start having a few Scotch or Japanese whiskeys. And, it's that catharsis of, well, we finally finished. Number 3 is over. And we felt like we kind of were done after that. And then we started talking about, we didn't feel like we knocked it out of the park on number 3. We felt like we was a kind of a soft ending. We never got to do our Japanese ode to, Japanese cinema and all that stuff. So Keanu just looks up and goes, look, if we were to do another one, what would we do? And we're just smiling. He goes, he's got to die. Like, we got to come full circle. And I was like, well, he's got to die in this most epic duel. And then we had this idea, because we had spent so much time in Japan, about this old samurai treatise called Hagakure, which was originally the working title of the movie. It literally translates like rustling leaves or whispers or secrets. And it's about, only a soldier can know a soldier, only a warrior can know a warrior, only a writer can know a writer, blah, blah, blah. And we wanted to do this good, the bad, the ugly mentality of everyone's a frenemy kind of thing. So many times in action movies, you have the bad guy and the good guy, and they don't really meet till the end of the third act. And I always felt that was kind of like, well, that's kind of a waste of all my time building up. So we wanted Donnie, we wanted the tracker, we wanted Bill Skarsgård, we wanted everybody to be friends 1 minute and then adversaries the next, to keep the action changing and going. So that was our concept. And we figured, well, if we can improve on our cast and our storytelling and structure to get better and more interesting set pieces in action, hopefully that'll keep the audience interested. And then we had this big meeting with all the department heads, and then we all scratched our heads going, how are we going to do not bigger, but better? Dan Lauson's like, well, we just all get better. And he kind of went down that road of everybody's got to get a little bit better. And we started with Keanu and all his training, and Dan and myself and Kevin Cavanaugh, the production designer. Mark Steckinger, my post team, is always in these early discussion meetings. So we try to figure out how to make it more interesting. And then you just trust the people,
This coming March, it will be the 25th anniversary of Matrix. Your collaboration with Keanu Reeves goes way back. So when it came to John Wick Chapter 4, what was it about Keanu's commitment, his prep, his training that felt different compared to the previous work you both have did in the past?
Developing, writing, conceptualizing is one thing, and execution is kind of where everything, either you pass or fail kind of thing. So I can come up with all these great ideas and like gun fu or storytelling of this stoic character that just raises his eyebrow and tells a story. But it only works if you have the people to execute it. Like crew, of course, people I've just mentioned. But you have Keanu who's committed, and after like, you know, all our time on the Matrix together and Constantine and all these other things we've done. I worked as a choreographer for him when he was directing Man of Tai Chi. So you get to know each other, and you kind of have this sensibility and confidence in what you know he can achieve. And just go, I got it. You're going to ride horses through Brooklyn. He's like, oh, better get on a horse then. It's like, I want you to drive your own car. We've got this new drone technology that we can, you know, weave in and out of cars with. It's like, okay, I'll go learn car. Like, you just know he's on board. To have that kind of confidence that your lead is going to, you know, back every creative decision you make because he wants to experiment and push the limits too is pretty epic. And again, I don't know about overall he's changing, but our relationship has changed not changed, let's say evolved in a good way. So it starts off stuntman, cast member, then we go to stunt coordinator to a cast member, then we're like action director and choreographer to another director to another cast member. And now it started off as new director learning from seasoned actor on the first John Wick, to where we really thought we knew what we were doing and really didn't. So Keanu was a great confidant to knock on his trailer at 4 a.m. going, yeah, we're really not to shoot. You know what I mean? I consider John Wick 4 to be a partnership. Keanu's literally in with the writers. He's in with us every other day. He's checking in. He sees the concept art. He's on board with the stunt teams. You know, when we're prepping too, like a year out, he's very, very involved, no matter where he is in the world. So to have a full partnership with your lead and someone that's very, very clever and has a natural instinct to the kind of filmmaking we're trying to do, I can't tell you. It's almost an unfair advantage.
So the John Wick universe has been expanding. We have the TV show Continental, which is available on Prime Video. And we have reached a sort of ending for John Wick, apparently. But this is the question that everybody wants to know. What would it take for you and Keanu Reeves to actually go on and do John Wick Chapter 5?
Look, Keanu and I will give you the same answer that we kind of get. Like, you'll never hear either one of us going, well, John Wick, we're done with that. We've done our, like, that's not our attitude. We couldn't be more thankful and more happy. You know, just the fact that you're asking that question makes me feel good. Like, okay, we kind of did something cool. That's great. We're like, look, as long as we have a why, if Keanu woke up tomorrow or I woke up tomorrow and we called each other and we had the why, like, why go back? Like, oh, we've got this story. Like, we know how to make this better. We would start prep an hour after we had the idea. We just don't, to be brutally honest, I wish I was that creative genius that woke up and found a reason or found an in. But we're very proud because it was a love letter to action movies and to all kinds of genres. So to leave it where everyone feels like we did a good job and satisfied, leave before it got too beaten or worn or, you know, turned into a cash grab or just a franchise because we could. It's never been a goal of ours. But on the other side, look, if we had a why and we really believed it, you know, tomorrow, a year, 2 years, 5 years from now, and we believed we could execute it and we believed it was going to be really epic, or we found a way to somewhat mirror what's going on in our lives or what we love and execute it through a John Wick, we'd do it because I love the character. I know when Keanu puts on that suit, he smiles. I know when we bring our stunt teams together on that first day of rehearsal, the first day on set, you can feel you feel like you're going to do something cool. So I miss that. I'd go back in a second, but till we have the why, we're just going to have to go out there and try to create something else, you know?